one. Welcome back, everybody. This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us. Thank you for joining us on the program once again. Best-selling author Tim Levy back with us on the program, the creative force behind everything from children's books to nationally broadcast TV shows, from business plans to leading-edge online technology. He's a coach, a consultant, works with some of the top CEOs in the business, speaker for some of the major international organizations, author of a number of books we've talked about on the program. On today's show, we're talking about the Google Gamble, the CEO's Guide to Traffic Conversion, and the Mysteries of SEO. Tim, great to have you back on the program and talking about SEO. Let's talk about that, because when you start talking to people, you sort of get lost in like, okay, how is this game played? And I understand that I saw an ad in USA Today. Somebody could come in and put me at the top of the list. Explain SEO and how's the proper way to go about getting this.
Yeah, so SEO, when you even say those three letters SEO, everybody's eyes start to glaze over.
Yeah, mine did actually as I was doing the intro. Jeez.
What is this? It sounds a lot like alien language, and it really is. So the best way, I think, is to stop even worrying about what it stands for and understand what's behind it. And what's behind it is the idea that there are these big search engines out there, Google and Yahoo and Bing and so forth, and their job in life, their purpose is to find you the best answer to whatever question that you type in. And they've spent a lot of time and a lot of money trying to develop algorithms that develop that best answer. And those algorithms look around all across the web, and they look, for example, at your site. So if your site is structured in a certain way and it's clean and clear and crisply laid out, and your site has a whole lot of social proof, which means other people are saying, hey, listen, you should pay attention to this, and various other sort of, I want to say, mathematical or sort of clues that Google goes to, then the chances of you rising up to the top of the page to be the answer that they actually refer people to go up. Now, it's an art and it's a science. At the base of all of it is a fundamental gamble. Even if you do all of these things, your website may or may not rank. But if you do all of these things, you have yourself a shot. So that's really what the Google Gamble is about. It's an acknowledgement that you can do certain things or hire people to do those things, which is really what this book is about, finding trustworthy people to actually do this stuff for you so that you have the best possible chance of Google ranking you and getting traffic. And I just want to say one last thing. I know I've gone on here, but because it's a gamble, you have to make sure that Google and SEO is not the only thing that you're doing. There are a couple of different levels of traffic, and you should be doing something about all of those levels and having SEO as one of 10 things that you do to bring new business to your business.
It's all in the book, The Google Gamble, the CEO's Guide to Traffic Conversion and the Mysteries of SEO. It's available at Tim's website, timlevy.net. Information, of course, at our website, thisweekinamerica.us, and you can link on directly to Tim's website. While there, go to timlevy.net/radio, a chance to win one of Tim's free books. Let's talk about trustworthy. That's a really interesting word because so many people, well, let me just ask it this way. Can we buy our way to the top? Is there a shortcut?
I would say in balance, the answer is no. It seems that the fundamental thing that Google is looking for is just great content. In other words, being the best answer. And I've noticed that it's hard to buy great content. Really, I've noticed that it's creation from yourself of great content, great intellectual property. In other words, how you do what you do, what's going on in your business, what's going on in your life, that really feeds the system. What you can do is you can buy expertise to make sure that that is formatted correctly, structured correctly, supported correctly. So I like to think that sort of gaming the system, trying to put together the sorts of things that you think Google's looking for is a bad idea. I don't like to do that. I think in the end, great content wins, and that Google is trying to match the human experience in which great content wins. So I would say you can't buy your way to the top. What you can do is create your way to the top, do great content to get your way to the top. Even then, though, it's always a fundamental gamble. You've got to be doing 5 or 10 other things as well.
What's the world of video? Does that work better than web copy?
Oh, this is a great question. So I did a little bit of research recently, and I had a look, and it turns out that if you look at how much the average American watches, say, television, right, every day, the average is 4 or 5 hours. In other words, 4 or 5 hours. A normal American is going to watch television every single day. And yet if you look at the same number for reading, say reading a book, it's 19 minutes. So the truth is that people are more likely to watch video than they are to read anything.
Interesting.
And as a result, more than half the traffic on the internet these days is video, and it's growing. So more and more people are watching things, i.e. video online, rather than reading things. So what you find is if you are developing your content on channels that include videos, such as YouTube is the obvious choice, then we've found exponential growth there. So we've done a campaign, for example, to increase traffic to our business. We've done it online on our website, timlevy.net, and on YouTube. On our website, we're up about 300% since February. That's really great. But we're up 2,800% on YouTube during the same period of time.
Interesting. All of this in the Google gamble. Time goes by so quickly when Tim's on the program. One final question here. People talk about meta tags, and I'm not quite sure what that is. Explain a meta tag.
Sure. So if you imagine that, Rick, you and I are speaking English, and that if we went to Paris today and started talking English to people there, they would perhaps not understand us because they speak French. Well, the same is true with Google. Google sort of has its own language. And part of that language are these things called meta tags. And what they are hidden codes that live behind your web pages that are designed to give Google the cues it needs to know what's on your page. And it's very much like if you do a Word document, and if you just wrote from your mind and splurt, a whole bunch of words came up, it would be really hard to read. So you break it up with headings and subheadings and sub-subheadings. Meta tags mainly are Google's version of doing headings, subheadings, and sub-subheadings on a page. Now, rather than trying to master this yourself, although you certainly can, I recommend you use the kind of tools that are out there to sort of do this for you. So, for example, if you're using WordPress, which is a standard way to do a website, they've got little plugins that say, hey, tell me, Tim, what's the title of this thing? What's the subtitle of this thing? And they help you get your meta tags right. Or, of course, you can hire someone to do it for you. And again, let's go back to Fiverr from your last program, Rick. For $5, someone will SEO any page for you and kind of really get that right so you don't have to learn this new language that can be so mysterious.
I like that. Pay $5, get it done. You don't have to worry about it and take on something else. Always fascinating. The Google Gamble, that's the new book by Tim Levy. He's got a number of books that are available at his website, which is timlevy.net. If you go to timlevy.net/radio, you can look on there. I got a chance to win some free books there as well. Tim, it is always a pleasure. Look forward to having you back on the program. Always great information. Thank you. It's been a pleasure once again. Great to have you with us.
Thank you so much.
It is our pleasure. You're listening to This Week in America, website thisweekinamerica.us.